evening! Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. As you can see, I have a very big board on my desk. See? Great big whopping thing. And I did mention that it was part of the donations, I believe. I can't remember. I'm just going to have see if I can put the chat up on screen. Yeah, it is. That was just one of them. I've got 6 to do. How you doing, Twisted? You alright, man? So, tonight, I will be using this. And yes, I know it's a big long lead because I've got it on the table over here next to me. And as I do each one of them, they're going to go down on the floor down there and stand up next to the table, I hope. Or at least somewhere here near me, so that I can shift them and get the next one, and shift them and get the next one. The plan for tonight is, first of all, to check that I've got a clean airbrush. I don't know how badly that's coming through, so yep. I'm definitely getting air through that. Now, I'm not using the Iowata one, because the Iowata one needs cleaning, and this one's got a loose hose on it for some reason here. So for some reason on this section of the hose here, it is a little bit loose. So you can. I'm louder than the compressor. That's alright, and that's the main thing. So, what I've done is I got the black primer that Ali bought me, the Vallejo one, and I mixed it with some white primer. And then I realised it weren't grey enough, so I mixed it with some of the watered down white and a bit more of the Pro-Acryl white. And now I have actually got a grey. So, the idea of this is, all these type of areas, I'm going to be spraying grey, so I can colour them up afterwards. But anything that's just like this, I'm leaving for now, because I'm going to be either doing it black, or I'm going to be covering it, not black, I'm either going to be doing it brown, or I'm going to be covering it with some kind of texture. So let's get started, shall we? I don't want too much. But I want to make sure I can see where the... Good evening, Buzzer. Good evening, mate. How are you, man? Still kicking out some Battlefield, I think. I'd see. Or Battlefront. Is it Battlefield? No, it's Battlefield you play. Battlefront's a Star Wars version, isn't it? And as long as I am louder than the airbrush, that's the main thing. In this case. I'm just going to fill in all the cracks, earth areas, all the areas with the skulls in, and any area that I'm going to be wanting to add some kind of, not necessarily normal or brown earthy colours to. Now, this isn't the best airbrush in the world, I know this, and it does spatter quite a lot, which isn't great. Let's just pop that back on there for now. And if I was to move this, so you can see now that instead of being all black, those areas have now got a nice covering of grey. Now, this is the easy board. It's only got those 2 bits on it. That's the easy one done. This one, not so much, because this one has just dropped half the things off my desk because it's fucking huge. This one has all this section up the middle here. All this section. What's that white thing? That's that is a bit of foam. That's why that's popping out now. Weird as hell, that, isn't it? Let's snap it off so it's not in the way anymore. Okay, so rock faces. The joys, the joys. I've got to say, this is a lot easier with an airbrush though. I couldn't imagine of doing this. I wouldn't want to have done this with a brush. I really would not have wanted to do this with a brush. Now I know we will not be getting Graham in tonight because Graham's gone to bed. He has a very busy day tomorrow. But I believe he may be here on the next one. Although I'm not sure when the UK Games Expo is, because I know he's going to that with Dave. Because he's driving Dave. An airbrush just is a big game changer, Twisted. It is ridiculous how much just having this one tool can change how you prep for painting. I'm going to take that cup off the end just to see if I can get a bit of a... Now it's the bit that I don't like, because now it started to... Oh, where have I put my cap? There it is. Good evening, Ali. Good evening. Yeah, now it started to mess up at the end a bit. And dry.
Should I just stick it?
Yeah, just stick it there, that's fine. Thank you. There we go. So just wipe that bit off the end. And hopefully this will make it a little bit easier. I need a smoother airbrush or a cleaning kit. I've come to that conclusion already. Yeah, I'm not too bad with the control on it, but when it starts sputtering and spurting, that's when it doesn't go too well. Now I am slightly tempted to plug my Iwata one in just to see how well it works. Oh, you forgot Sparkles, Twisted. Oh. I don't think she's watching, so I think you got away with it, mate. I think you got away with it. So let's turn this sideways so hopefully we can actually get it all on. So there we go. On this flat board, it's just that section. Those are the two easy ones. Now we have the four sections that have hills. As I said, there are 6 of these. Gum brushes I need for airbrushing. Right. Well, I'm going to grab my phone out. And what is it I want? Gum brushes. And I'm going to add them to the wish list. I remembered to add the medium to the wish list, but I've not ordered any. Let's see if we can find gum brushes while we... You find them at the gum store. At the drugstore. Okay. I should hope Amazon have them. Gum brushes. Are you on about like the dental brushes? Them little things? He's not even showing. It's the ones that you're supposed to clean in between your teeth with, like dental floss brushes. Them ones. Oh, that's not bad. No, that's not a bad idea at all, actually. I might have to nip to the pound shop and find some of them. But I think, I'm not sure if they're actually too thick, because if I'm in a 0.2mm needle, Yeah, the ones with more like the pipe cleanery tip. Problem is, they're usually like 0.4, 0.5, and I've got a 0.3. I'm not entirely sure how well that would work. I'll find out. Alright, big one. Now this has a lot to come round here. You can't actually see it. There's a lot round there. All the rock faces, got little skull sections in here, more rock. So these rocks round here, these rocks round here, and this little bit. That's essentially where I wish to, because these have got little skull bits in them and all sorts of other stuff. How well am I doing on painting there? Oh no, I'm fine. I am good with painting here. I just need to make sure I get all the edges. Oh, come on. See, now the one thing I am missing is a nozzle cleaner. And now I've got to wait for the compressor to fill back up. Yes, so at the moment I'm bringing out anywhere that I've painted black that I will need to highlight. So because of the sheer quantity that's on it, the airbrush is the natural way to do it. But now I've just figured out I've got a clot. Or I've got a it's decided it doesn't want to come out very well anymore, so now it's and you see the 0.2 now. See, now why is that not coming out at all? Don't make me tip this into the other one and clean it out. Do not make me do that. See, I was hoping the airbrush would work well enough, long enough, so I don't have to do the horrible cleaning bit straight after. No, not in this case, Alice. Well, if the airbrush is working, no. If the airbrush isn't working, then yes. It's like in this case, at this precise moment in time, the airbrush is being a dick. And I'm having to essentially pump it to try and stop the sputtering and the spurting as much as possible. But you see, I can just, with an airbrush doing that, once it's running right, it's just such a different kettle of fish and game changer overall. There we go. Just clear a bit of the backlog there. Pour some air back through it so it's clearing that section. And then we have lots of... Nah, don't worry. That's the thing. I got these airbrushes so I can learn how to do it rather than spending stupid amounts of money on an airbrush and then go, I can't do it and I don't like it. I had a feeling I'd like it, but I wanted to make sure. So yeah, I got cheaper airbrushes to learn, and if I actually manage to get good enough, I might purchase a more expensive airbrush, just one that flows easier and there's less likelihood of clogging while I'm using it. Yeah, exactly. Essentially, yeah. To twist has just pretty much summarised why I'm using an airbrush for this, but in a much more elegant way than I did. I am slightly gutted because I didn't get to play D&D this week. So like the 5 weeks we've been playing, I've played twice. Now I believe it is Memorial Day over in the States. So for those of you who are in the other side of the pond, then we do remember those people who served. We have our own, which is the 11th of November. We call it Remembrance Sunday. And it is quite an important day, despite what some people might think. In fact, going off that, I probably should have done guard today, shouldn't I? But I want to get this to some kind of state where it's not just grey. So, yeah. I didn't want it all grey like the base colour, even though technically I am spraying the base colour back on. So once we get through, you can see all the rocks and cracky areas, and if I can get it up to the camera, you can see little areas like there where it's it's not zooming in. I'll go get another piece where it's easier. So on that big piece near the hills, there are bones and skulls and stuff. Now I'm going to get the other one I did a minute ago because it'll zoom in easier on that one. So it's like that. These little areas like that. Now they're all full of skulls, which I'm tempted, because I do have Necron parts. I have Necron pieces on some of my Space Marine bases. I'm tempted to do all them skulls as Necron skulls, matching the army of my friends that I painted for him. So, oh no, this is the one with lots. This is the one with lots. So this one we've got hills, skulls. More of this board is going to be done than not. And as long as I follow the lines near enough, I should be okay. As Christy said, you can overspray a little on these, it's not too bad, especially on the cracks and things. One thing you don't want to do is when you're using this for like zenithal highlighting, you don't want to be overspraying them. You want to be minimal for zenithals. That is the point. Well, I painted it all black, Ali, and then I now spraying bits grey. I didn't make this. This is an official Games Workshop board. They don't sell it anymore. I think the last price they had it up for was about £300 for this 6x4 board. Well, this set of 6 boards. That are all 2x2 boards, and will make up a 6x4 board for you, which is big enough for any game of Warhammer 40k, up to about 3,000 points. You just have to mark off the edges if you're using a smaller table, or if you're lucky enough that you can use it on just a 4x4, you just use 4 of them. If you're playing a bigger game, then yes, you need all 6. Sparkles is still dreading the day when I set all this up and go, right, we're playing. She owes me that I've got about 2 birthday games ready, saved up, where Sparkles is my opponent. So I have saved up a few games, so I could actually, yeah. Yeah, it is one of the only issue I have with this is there's only 2 hills with short edges, so they always have to go next to each other if you're going to join up the hill. That's my only complaint with this board, is that you are limited within combinations of that you can do with it. Don't get me wrong, you can put hill at one end, hill at the other end, hill on that side, hill down here, hills facing each other. So there is a variance that you can do, but there's only so much. But there's more variance on this than the flatboards. A lot more variance on this than the flatboards. Hey, this is going quick, isn't it? This is going quick. Yeah, I didn't know how long this was going to take, because it was either going to be every time I use the airbrush it's going to sputter and not work, or it's going to work okay like it is doing now. So that's this section, and all around there. So that's what? 4 done already. Yeah, about £300-ish, I think was the last price. Let's have a look. Oh, I forgot to press play on that. You can't get them anymore, so I'm going to have to go to eBay. I hope you can hear the music. The music might be coming through louder than the airbrush, I don't know. And I am looking for Games Workshop Hill B-O-A-R-D. Come on. Right, so there's somebody selling one on eBay for $375. There's someone who's painted one who's selling it for $300 on eBay. Yeah, so you're looking about 300 quid to buy this board. Thank you very much. So I've balanced that one right. That's good. Well, yeah, it's about 300 quid this board. So if I'm to add it up now, what that very nice subscriber in a very difficult circumstance gave to me, it's about 400 quid's worth of terrain. Maybe 5. Depending on the box that I'm going to pull out after I've done this. Because there's most, as I said, I'm getting a bit overwhelmed on this one. Let's just go back to my channel. I think I've called it off. I'm getting overwhelmed. No, it's all out of control. That's what it is. It's out of control. That's what it is. So, I'll show you why it's out of control in a minute. Let's just get all these other areas that I miss. And I do want to make sure I get it right first time if I can. I don't want to have to come back and go, oh, I've missed all that area and I've missed all that area, and now I've got to come back, and in that case it will be I have to do it with brush. Because if it's only little bits, I'm not dragging the airbrush out for the tiny little bit, it's just useless. Really not any point in that. So that's the other big 2x2 boards. I mean, these things are absolutely humongous. So let's put you down there with the other foot, with the other 3 times. Then grab the next one. I was smart enough to actually put all these behind me so I could choose them. Ooh, this one. Right. Right, this one is all along here. And then it's got a section down here as well. So that should be okay, I hope. Hydrate. Good evening, Lee. Good evening. I hope you're doing well, Chief. Moisture release valve. Just have to set the moisture release valve off just so nothing's coming through. Right. We are very much nearly out of paint. I'm thinking do a clean it first and then go back to it. Well, I'll use up what's in it first. Because that just makes sense. Then I'm going to give it a bit of a clean. And then I'll... In fact, no. I've only got 2 boards left to go. And I know the last board is the biggest board to do because it's got a ramp way down there. So I know that's pretty much going to be my biggest board to paint with this. I need to make sure I get all the skull bits in around the bottom there. And all the bits around the face of the hill, because there's loads of little tiny bits that you don't notice until you've come somewhere through painting it, that there's skulls and bones at the bottom of cliffs and things. So you kind of have to pay attention to bits that are all over the place. Yeah, no, that's run out now. There we go, a bit more paint in there. Wow, that just shot out there. Now, there will be slight variances in the grey that comes out, because although I mixed it, and I've made up this grey myself, out of the 2 primers, there is still some variance in it. Let's see if I drop that down, does it help it see? I'm just going to see if I dull my light down a little. No it doesn't, it just makes everything fucking darker. Which is kind of what you'd expect to say if you turn the light down, but still. So that's all across the top of the hill section, except for that bit. And a bit heavier on that bit. And a bit heavier on that bit, please. Thank you. Right. Now for the kind of broken rock sections. Just follow the cracks. And then fill in any gaps in the middle where it's going to be rock. I forgot all the light. Nope, missed one. Let's see, that was the splattery thing I was on about a minute ago. It just went, and then you end up getting run lines coming out. So I've had to, essentially, rather than allowing paint out, it's just use the air from the brush or the air from the compressor just to help move it around. Okay. Board number 5 done. Now, I know you get a better look when I put it up like this, so you can see where the grey's much more of a contrast on it now. Especially on those sections. They're just a bit big to be fitting on the bloody camera. Fitting on the camera, fitting on my desk in general, it's a bit big. Looking massive. Don't fall over. There you go. Last one. Now this one should have more than anything else. If I can get it on my desk right. So as you can see, this one's got a pathway down here, as well as all the hill sections up here. And yeah, all that will run down, right down into here. That's not going to be too bad, I don't think. I hope I've got enough paint in my airbrush. And after I've done this, yes, I will be hitting it with a brighter dry brush, just to help bring some of the areas like the skulls and things out. Now I know this is all, you're supposed to do this in a ventilated area and wear a mask and everything. I've got a window open, I think. But let's go check. Sparkles is giving me the look to say, you haven't got a fucking window open. Oh, I should have a window open. There we go. Now I have a window open. I've also realised I've not shut the curtains behind me. So you can all see all the junk that I leave on the windowsill nearby. Well, I don't think you can actually because it's behind me, but still. He's not supposed to be seen. I mean, I know Lee's used to doing this. Twisted's used to having a go at this. Although Twisted has a very nice little rig, so he can just put it there and just change the model as he needs it. He's gone high tech with this. High tech, low effort. He's great. I have not. I will still do it manually. And with me not getting a load of sleep last night and sleeping most of today, I'm not tired. And normally by this time of the day I'd be getting quite tired. Because tablets would have been kicking in and all sorts of stuff like that. But today, no. I was ill last night. Did not keep my tablets down. Which means I paid for it today. As I always do if I don't manage to keep the tablets down. It's not very nice. It also means I didn't sleep last night. Which I've got to say is not very bloody pleasant. Right, here, I believe that is that. Now for the extremely fun bit of actually cleaning the fucking airbrush. Oh, wait a minute, no, I've missed bits. Just little bits. You know, if you want to get a variance on there, so little sections like that just help. Lee, this is a 2 foot by 2 foot board. This ain't fitting in your spray booth, mate. If it wasn't for the fact that I wanted to try and get it on camera, I would have done this outside. But I wanted to get it on camera, so I brought it up. There we go. That is board number 6. Right. Now we know how this works. We get that, we put that to the top, and we press play. I'll be back in a moment because I've just got to go find something to clean my airbrush out with. shit, I've locked myself out. I didn't think about getting back to my desk. Yeah, it is almost an automotive spray tent, you are right. It is a bit bloody daft. No, move that all the way to the bottom, please. Thank you. Right, so now I have an empty jar, my airbrush, and an alcohol water solution. Which essentially I do that with first. And then I do that with. And this clears not only the bowl, but the sections between the bowl. Why is it dripping? Why is it dripping? Now this is probably the most pain in the backside bit about airbrushes, is the fact that cleaning them sometimes is not the easiest thing in the world, especially if you don't have like the dental things that Twisted will stay in and things like that. So I mean, if I do end up with, I think I'm possibly going to end up with another airbrush that isn't in fully working order, but if I can get it in fully working order, then it is an upgrade. There we go. And now just to release all the air. That's trapped in the compressor. No, I've just unscrewed the wrong thing entirely. But I can still release the pressure. Francois and Nick, fuck me! I am blessed this evening. I am blessed. I have both Francois and Nick come to see me this evening, along with Twisted and Ali and Buzzard. And Sparkles is in there, by the way. She has told me she's gone upstairs, but she will still be watching. Which is very fucking ominous, really, when you think about it, isn't it? Big wet patch on my desk now. Didn't think about having to clean that up, did I? No, because I'm a fucking dick. Am I over the 5-minute mark? Yeah, I'm at 40 minutes. I'm fine, I can swear. So I'm just going to get some kitchen roll, and then hopefully not be locked out of the desk again. Because I've got a lot of stuff down here near my desk at the minute, because I've got nowhere else to put it. So just wipe all that over, just to get it somewhat dry. Right. So now that I've done the airbrushing on that big hill board, I've got to let that dry for a minute, and then I'll come back to it eventually and attack it with a dry brush. Well, I say a dry brush, it's going to be that thing. It's going to be that massive bugger. But no worries, Lee. I'll catch you on the next one, mate. Good luck with your projects, because you actually get your projects to the finish stage, whereas I just get so far and then stop. So the board is one thing that I got off him. Fortress of Redemption, the Aquila Strong Point, the Bastion, I also got from him. But along with that, now, oh yeah, that's the airbrush I might be getting, an Evolution Harder and Steinbach. I might be getting. Right. I also got given this box. And a lot of you are going to be thinking, what the fuck's in that box? in this box is, oh my god. So we have wall pieces, we have floor pieces, we have other wall pieces, we have gangtree. Oh no, that's my piece. Right, okay, where's that gone? Right, nope, that's one of mine. That doesn't get given to him. Gangtreeways, other wall pieces. Don't even know what that is. Lampposts. And so I have got what I can only classify as about 3 buildings worth of terrain here, or pieces to make buildings. And I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it, because, well, there literally is all sorts of bits here. All sorts of bits. Building bits. That's a rubber pipe, that's not supposed to be in there. It's just standard girders. Broken flooring. Broken walls. Gates. Anyone want a set of gates? Yeah, Cities of Death, that's the one. Thank you, Francois. I couldn't remember where it all came from. But I've been given this box full of all this. So obviously there is definitely some kind of terrain piece to become. I mean, what the bloody hell's that thing? Is that from like the Bastion or something? Like the radar? I'm not sure. I mean, what the fuck? I don't even know I don't even know where that's come from. I mean, that is a very odd gun-shaped thing. Gimme Bob. I don't know where that's from. I mean, most of it I'll recognise it and go, oh yeah, no, that's from one of the Cities of Death sets. That's from one of the Cities of Death sets. That I have no idea. I think actually that might go along with. Does that go along with that? See, that might go along with that. That is a gorgeous gift. It is, Francois. I mean, I've got enough. Not going through this. The Fortress of Redemption, the Aquila Strongpoint, and the Bastion is enough for that board. Along with the 2 ruined buildings that I've already got. The ruined building that he built out of these bits. I mean, is that a bit of a rhino? Where's that from? But it is just silly with some of these pieces. A lot of them they have been used, they have been glued, they have been broken apart, so they will need cleaning up. Because a lot of them have been used and abused over the years. I know this because I'm one of the ones that abused them. Is that from the Aegis defense line? Right. So I don't think I'll be getting the Aegis. No, not new in box, painted partially. He's missing one of the missile silo covers. But I do have the gun front top, the last cannon gun front top. I do have that now. As well as the cannon to go on top of the. Oh, that's Necromunda. I know that's Necromunda, and I know his Necromunda's gone somewhere else. So I'm going to have to get in touch with that person and go, right, okay, I'll swap you these Necromunda bits for your 40k bits that he got wrong. I'm going to work like that. I mean, what on earth? That's upside down for a start, because then, see, you've got all them one way. You've got all them one way around, and then if you turn it over, they're all the bloody other way around. So that's going to need pulling apart, just so I can flip that one the other way around. Don't know what it's going to be used for, but it'll be used for something. Broken walls. Now I'm going to have to plan this, aren't I? Because there are that many pieces from that many sets. I'm not sure. Do I want to make just one big whopping building? those came with the Imperial Bastion. Oh, are they to go in the place of the heavy bolters? Do I go get it to have a look? Oh, Francois. Francois, you've set me on a path. You've set me down a path now. I don't know if this is... I mean, I've still got the Nemesis Dread Knight that he gave me. The 15... 18 technically Terminator armored models from Grey Knights. A Land Raider, the Rhino, the Storm Raven. Yes, one giant building. Right. So all that needs to be made into one just big, huge building. Which means I might have to stick it around something like polystyrene or something, just so I've got a core base. But now see, here's the problem. I've got all that. I've got a Fortress of Redemption. I've got a Bastion. And I've got the Aquila Strongpoint. If I was to break them all up, I think I could make something quite different. But that would mean breaking up the Fortress of Redemption. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, but the big tower is just screaming church for me. And all that is just screaming church as well. So if I can make this and then get the...
It's like nothing I'd ever seen. The rhino is a completely consistent width throughout. And the pithy bit, clean off.
On a 12 by 18 inch basis. Wow, that is huge.
Harry's.
That's big.
Feel good, fellas.
I mean, what's the Fortress? I think the Fortress of Redemption is somewhere around the 24 inch long mark and then 12 inches tall. But it's only about 12 inches narrow across, but it's chuffing long. So it's almost the size of one of them boards. I know the Aquila Strongpoint's not much smaller. The Bastion's the smallest one. Considering you want me to make these into one great big whopping building. Ooh, that's... You could have at least snapped off. Ah, see, that's... I only have one Imperial Bastion, so I have to be careful with what I'm using that with. I've got to be. But it is a very good staple model for building any type of fortress from, because of just the nice big flat sides. Yeah, fortress fits on a 24 inch. Basically, the fortress fits on one of them boards that I've just been doing. But it has to be a flat one. You won't fit on one of the ones with bloody hills, which is annoying. Right. So, that's one of the other things that I got. Now, I still have more paints to pick up. And possibly other things to pick up. Because, like, I know I've got... I think it's Grandmaster Valdus. Drago without his sword and shield. A Librarian. And 15 Terminators that I want to pair up with the Falchions, so I can have them as Lightning Claws. And then paint them still in my army colours. I'm not intending to run a Grey Knight army. I am not intending to run a Grey Knight army. So, that's work for a future project. I'm just waiting for my balls to dry at the minute, really, more than anything else. Where's my other work for a future project? Where's he gone? Where has he gone? He's disappeared. Okay, there's the Librarian. There's Valdus. There's the Terminators. He shouldn't be up with that. Nope. I thought he was over here. But it appears I'm wrong. And along with all that, I've also got the other scenery like that as well to go with it all. A mold of the shield. Oh, you mean the circle thing that goes on the fortress? I'll go get it. Because I've got to look for... Where did I put him in? Ah, no, there he is. Excellent, yeah. Him. He's going to become an orc, by the way. He's going to become Lasgul Thwacker. So actually, I need to look at how I'm going to remove that arm. attach the Hellbrute arm to it. So he's going to become Lasgold Thwacker, which should be nice. See, I could probably make one. Could I make one myself? I could certainly try. But as it's going to be Lasgold Thwacker, I don't want a Space Marine bits in that. So you can come off, mate, and you can come out. And you can come out. There we go. Now I've got somewhere I can put my arc. That was a very brutal way of getting into it, I know, but still. We've got to snap him off there. Yeah. So that bit's supposed to go in there. But the other way around. Have I just completely fucked this model up? No, there we go. Oh, you say open up. Possibility I have just completely messed that model up by doing that, but oh well. As long as I can get his legs attached somehow, which will go into there, and I can get that up underneath that. Oh, the Grey Knight character. Well, as I'll be throwing him in with mine, I do have... Is it in this box? It might be in this box. Manga markers, bits of basing. My son's rocks that he collects for me for texturing. Oh, it's easily sold, I know. I should have in here, that's 3 Terminator captains. There we go. Yeah, so I do actually have a shield, and I can, for him. Pardon me. Yeah, it is. It's stupid. And then with that shield I can also take the sword from one of the captains. And so I can still make him with a shield and sword. That's not a problem. It's just he won't have the shield and sword that he would normally have had. I can still get him a shield and sword though. But thank you for the offer. Thank you very much for the offer. As Twisted is very nicely put on that Be Right Back screen, a lot of this stuff is only here because of subscribers like yourself. So it does make a big difference to me. It makes a huge difference. This channel would have ended years ago had it not been for the support that I get from all of you. Up to the gallows. Off to the gallows with him. No final drink. No last stop. Right, so I'll need to figure out how to make that work again. But I don't need them bits because they're all Space Marine bits. This bit might be the only bit that I do actually need to go onto there. But I might need that to go with it for some reason. See, I don't understand how that's going to go. That's just weird. That's doing me head in. I'll start by doing the legs first, I think, on him. And then attach the body. Archify up. Because I'm going to take this arm off. Right, well, essentially, I'm either going to snap it off or I'm going to have to cut it off. And then it's going to be a... Why have I got a feeling I'm going to look for this screw and it's not going to be anywhere I think it should be? Yes, that's it. So, along with this hammer for a Lasgull. I'm quite partial to an Iron Maiden myself. And he's going to be getting that hammer as well. So this orc will be using both a Chaos and a Space Marine hammer. So I'm going to take that off now. Because, well, Wednesday's magazine, he's going to want me to cut that out and attach it to the model, and it can go get fucked. He's going to have the tentacle things. Or just the fists. Definitely having a multi-melter. But I might just give him a fist on the other side. Or I might give him the tentacly lashy things. But either way, he's not getting the hammer. Because that's going on Lasgull Thwacker. And if you can't figure out why I call him Thwacker with 2 hammers, you're a fan of thumb screws. Oh, there's nothing like screaming in the morning with thumb screws, is there? So we have a hammerhead, a hammerhead, and hammerheads. So this is completely fucking up Wednesday, by the way. Now the only inside the arm bit I can see is this one. So it's 16 and 93. It is raining outside. An oubliette. Aren't oubliettes kind of like secret tunnels? Or am I just thinking of how Labyrinth described it? So this should go on here. Should go on here, but it's not doing. For some bizarre... Well, that might be the reason why. It's got a little nub there that it doesn't like. Let's shave that off. Get rid of the nub. See, there's so many nice ones. And the classic rack you can't really go wrong with. We're going to pull you till your body comes apart. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Oh, have I got a glue in there? Yeah, but I'm going to have to do the... let's make the tube clear model, the tube clear method, if I have one with me. Yes, I do. Yeah, essentially. What's the pair? I'm not aware of the pair. Don't do that bit at home, children. That bit was dangerous. So it's going to pump out glue vapor when I push it through the hot bit. So do not do that at all. No, oh, fuck off. Well, just go in place. Go in place. I dry fitted you. You went in. Now that I'm trying to actually put you on, you're being a cunt. Please don't be a cunt. Just go together. Thank you. It's a small hole in the ground, small enough you won't be able to change your position. You'll be forced to rot in your own... Oh, lovely. Basically the old French Foreign Legion torture method. Let's bury you up to your neck. And then leave you there. So if I can get that in underneath... Yeah, if I can get that in there now, that's going to be the 2 hammers for Lasgow Thwacker. Oh, lovely. Now, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, Francois, but that's pretty fucking sick. And I don't mean that in the sick, like the down with the kids sick type of way. I mean, that sounds fucking horrific. That really does sound fucking horrific. How do you know about half of this shit? Right, so I need to get that onto... See, it's a little bit smaller, isn't it? So I'll need to... I mean, the hammer itself isn't too far off, but the arm is just smaller. So is there anything I can do to make that arm not quite as small? I could always... Where's my saw? Where is my saw gun? Where has my saw gone? I need it soon because I need to cut this up. I need a section to go into his shoulder to extend it down a little bit so it can fit in under there a bit more. That pretty much means I need that ball socket there. Yeah, they don't sound nice by any stretch of the imagination. So in this case, we're just going to get the big wire cutters. And just hack at it like that. Take that cable a bit off there. And glue that in there, I hope. So I'm going to put a load of glue on that bit that I cut, because that's where all the fresh plastic is. And I can get it to somewhat fit into that section. That should extend his arm down a bit if I take that little nubbly bit off there. Yeah, that doesn't sound good either. Say what you want about the French. They're sick fuckers, really. They're the reason that Canada are so fucking nuts. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have their influences from Britain. But it's definitely the French-Canadian side that's a bit more fucking... Geneva Convention? Yeah, we can break that. It's definitely that side. I'm not saying the British side does that. No. I'm definitely going with the French side for that. So now we have an arm that's just not fucking gluing. So I'm going to put a lot more glue in than is necessary. Just to try and get that to bond there. So that should give me the ball socket to go up into... There we go, that should help even the arms out a bit more. Because you don't get a Lasgow Thwacker type model without it being a big old boy. So I need to make sure he's a big old boy. Ooh. Right. Some people know about this, some people don't. I have ordered a proxy model from the Miniature Tavern. Now, they have never actually been in here, but they are aware of me as a channel, so don't worry about that much. But I've ordered a proxy model of them, and it's essentially an Angron with an art face. So if I can take the art face off, I'm going to put one of the Angron-y style faces on instead. The ones that pop through the section of the Hellbrute. I want to make sure that I've got more. See, if I've got more shoulder pads, then that one can go to cover that arm. Oh yeah, we'll pick up most dirty habits, to be quite honest. If it can be a, ooh, yeah, that's nasty. We'll steal it until the rest of the world says, you can't do that. And it's like, right, okay. And then Canada do it instead. Right, so I know I want the multi-melter for the Hellbrute. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself on for Wednesday. Just so I can speed it along a little bit if possible. I would like my Hellbrute to be pretty much a standard dreadnought. Just with a few differences. I'm just hoping I haven't just used the bit of the arm that he's going to want me to use for this. I hope. Piracy. Yeah, they had a big issue with that. It was all well and good. Where he's like, yeah, you be privateers. It's like, yeah, cool. That sounds like an awesome. So we'll be privateers. Can't be privateers anymore. We're going to hang you. Think about it. You told them to fucking do it. Yeah, well, they don't want you to no more. So, clear off. And that's how that shit went. South, quickly. Right, so the board should be dry now. The arm for Lazgul Thwacker's on its way. Along with the other bits for him. I'm just going to have to move to one side for now. Because, well, my desk is not big enough to do everything on it that I want. Obviously he has got his legs already. I just need to bulk that out a little bit. Right. I've not even started looking at the Terminators properly. Stick you down there. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Please don't hold that little quote against me and that impression against me. Don't like that fucker. I'm quite happy he's dead. In fact, he should have died decades beforehand. But he's very iconic, so. For the wrong reasons, for completely the wrong reasons. I remember, man, Greeks were doing a lot of this shit before some of the empires in this world were even thinking about even wiping their asses on a boat. Right. Now I need a brighter dry brush across those hills and all those other sections that I did a minute ago. Oh, happy days. So I'm going to clear out the nice big circular section in the middle there, because Savile is dead. Savile is dead. He's rotting with Satan. Not rocking with Satan, he's rotting with Satan. That despicable piece of work that he was. Covered up with the royal family and the BBC. And that one statement's probably going to get me shut. They should have installed a dance floor in Savile's grave. Either that or a urinal. A urinal would have been nice. Just so you can stand there and piss on him. But he might have liked that. Because he was a perverted fucker, weren't he? Didn't think that one through. I need ivory. I need a big lot of fucking ivory. I don't think I actually have enough ivory to do everything that I want. I mean, I know I've got 3 different pots of ivory, but I still don't think I've got enough ivory to do what I want. It is absolutely shocking what he got away with. And how he got away with it as well is just as bloody bad, because there are people who knew about it. I mean, John Lydon was saying about it way beforehand. There were plenty of people saying, look, this guy's a wrong 'un. You're going to have to do something about him. And then there was even more people going, no, he's not, he's alright. And it's like, no, he's a greasy, dirty, lecherous little man. And if that doesn't tell you my opinion of him, I don't know what. Yeah, they got away with it, because there was more than just him involved. Of course there's more than just him involved. You don't get to do all that with government things. Especially when it comes to, like, the children's hospitals. They're not good. That's not how you deal with it. Right, so. Oh, crap. I've put more stuff on my desk now, haven't I? So I've now run out of room again. I can't physically have anything on my desk while I'm doing these boards because it's just too fucking big. See, I've got things going skaroosh and spadoosh all behind me. So, with this section, rather than going over all the rocks and all these, I'm just going to come in and dry brush the skull sections in here and on the flat bit as well. I've just got to go get the paint, which is, it's only like 3 foot away from me, but it's behind so much stuff that, yeah, it's just, it's not quite as easy as you would think. I had to borrow chairs and tables and... Right, I'm going to use the Duncan Rose one because I don't like it as much. So if I have to use loads of it, I'm not going to be as gutted. So, got the wet palette cleaned out the middle bit, ish. Enough to be able to use paint. That's not supposed to happen. See, looking ridiculous. It's a good job I need a fair amount of it. That's all I can say. If you only needed a drop, that would have really done my head in. Luckily, I need a decent amount. Wet your brush. Even though you're dry brushing, you wet your brush. Load up your brush. Remove the majority. Give it a quick test on the back of the hand, which is how my hand ends up painted most of the time. And then across that section there. And across that section there. And any other skull bits, just little bits around the edges, down here, down there, a few more skull bits in there. And that should brighten up those cracks to make it easier for me to do it in Necrony colours. Because I might just cover this in that sand. Yeah, that is the problem with some of these boards. is just trying to get models to sit flat on them. Sometimes it just don't work. I mean, I'll grab the Terminators out in a second and try and put them on here so you can see. Because the Terminator's not still down next to me. As long as none of them get knocked off with. Yeah. Oh crap, you've lost an arm. How have you lost an arm? And you've come off your base entirely. So you need to go back in and back on your base. Okay. But, yeah, some of them don't fit nicely. I mean, if you try and put them on there, then they don't balance well. The hills are not the best in the world. I'm trying to find one that's gonna... Since I've base coated it, they're not sliding. They used to slide on this. 1, 2... There's one with the sword. There's one with the sword. Chaplain to lead these ones. You're supposed to be down there. Couple more with power fists. So they do take up a fair old chunk of space on the board, but on certain areas they do sit a little bit wobbly. Ah, he's armless and baseless. It's a bit of super glue beside. There's his base. There's his arm. And there's the rest of him. So yeah, he needs sorting out again. I do also need to paint him as well now. So I've found the other one. So I do have to now. As well as my other Phobos Librarian and my other normal Librarian. Did I find? Yeah. And then the Dark Vengeance Librarian. I think I've got 1 or 2 Librarians, people. 1 or 2 Librarians. I don't think I'm misplacing a book anytime soon, am I? I don't think I will be. Why did I put the other Terminator Librarians? 6 Librarians. That's getting a bit much. How many Chaplains? 1, 2, 3. You're not a Chaplain. You can go down there. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 and 6 make them. But yeah, 6 Librarians, 6 Chaplains. No, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. And of course I can, from there, use any of the like Grey Knight Librarians. And that does need a good clean-up, doesn't it? And that'll give me more Librarians in Terminator armor. Not that I need more Librarians in Terminator armor, but hey ho, you can take up to 3, so why not? I'm going to try and make sense of some of what's on here now. Do a quick fix on him and then come back and do the rest of the boards with the white. Chaplain Baptin. It's actually the most done Chaplain that I've got so far is Chaplain Baptin. And I've got 15 more fucking Terminators now. I've gone from having 15 to 25. Now I've got fucking 40. That's not including characters either. 40 fucking Terminators. Two guesses who's going to be running a first company. Right, so let's do this gluey bit first. Put you back down there. And look for my glue. There we go. So, wet that aside. It is better to have more than less. Oh, you're taking a piss? Yes, they are taking the fish. Get a pin. Reopen the glue. So as I said, it's all getting a bit out of control at the minute. And this is why. I've got boards and terrain and models. And I am glad I've got them. I am very thankful to have them. It's just I've not finished catching up on the other shit that I've got first. So it might take me a while. And I have to do it in little bits. We'll make it fun. So get your arm in there, please. Thank you. And then licky the bottom of his foot. Put a splodge of super glue on there. I've got a feeling this one might actually be better if a pit was to pin him. What moved then? Something moved. I heard it move. No worries, Francois. You have a good evening, mate. It's a holiday pretty much everywhere today, I think. We've got one over here. It's Memorial Day over in America. It's just a bank holiday Monday over here for us, so it's nothing too special. We had May Day at the beginning of the month. So you have a fun-filled evening, Francois. Thank you for coming in to join me, even for the brief moment that you had available. Thank you very much. Now let's move this out of the way. I thought the other one with skulls on it, which is not this one or that one. I've got a feeling he's actually one of the flat ones, isn't it? Is that the... Yeah, that's that one. And that's the one with all the rocks and the paving bit. It's this one that has all the skulls on there. See? I knew I had it somewhere. So I'll give them... See, the problem is with this one, is if I move the camera slightly, you can see most of it's just pretty plain. So it's going over it, finding something to go over it with is going to be not difficult, but I'm certainly going to have to put things like bits of grass, tufts. I mean, I'm not even going to be sure if I could do tufts because they might come off in the bag. But definitely I'm going to have to scatter some like tea leaves, what I've been using for the bases and things like that. I'm going to have to put them over it. That's going to be a definite. But looking at these bits, I've got a feeling that Necron Tesseract Glow might work well on these. If it was to potentially dry brush all them silver, then use the Tesseract Glow in the middle. But I want it blue, I don't want it green, because I've chose blue for his... Well, he chose blue for his Necron army. So I'm probably going to want more of a blue wash in there. Oh, whoa, 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 chill out there, phone. What's going on? Calm me the fuck down, will there? What the hell's all that? I don't know. I don't particularly want to know either now. Right, so now we have two tones of colour on these. The hills are staying majority grey, which is good. I have started on Lasgul Thwacker. I just need to get a few components to put him together a bit more. Which the Death Dread should be alright. No, you come up, ding! When you come up, Ali, I know you because you're the one who uses Messenger. You're one of the few who uses Messenger. So, I know it is a ding. Good chance it's you. Good chance. So, that is all 6 boards. Base coated, pre-zenithal. Well, pre-primed at certain bits. Now, see, tonight wasn't planned. I was just trying to get certain bits started and underway. Oh, I need a new mat. This one's coming apart. I need a new A3 mat. Never mind. There goes all my chaos spruce that haven't yet been put into the tub. But now I have to try and fit these back into the bag. But I've got the bag as well. I do actually have the bag. In fact, if I realise a bit more, I can... No. Not that picture. That one. No, that puts me further that way. Never mind, because I'm going further this way, and I thought it might have put me up, but it didn't. It was just going to show me further me off the screen. So, look. You two just behave yourselves and stand up for a second. Well, find the corners of this bag. So I've got to put these away, otherwise the living room's a mess tomorrow. And Sparkles is going to get up, and if she can't walk out the door, then I'm in for it. So I have to put all these away. Now every time I do this and paint a little bit more and put them away, every time it's a test to see how much I can get away with putting on them before it starts damaging it once it's in storage. So the black base coat went on fine, didn't scratch. It was unky-diddy-dory. Now to try with the grey on it. And if the grey doesn't scratch, fucking awesome. And if the grey does scratch, I know I'm going a little bit too thick on it, so that's not good. And I won't get away with... Ooh, I missed bits. I missed bits. Little bone bits, little skull bits in there, little bone bits and skull bits in there, little bone bits and skull bits in and around there. So it's all the bits with skulls and bones that I'm bringing up that little bit brighter. Some of them I will paint as Necron, some of them I will paint as human. Because let's face it, if the Space Marines are there, it means the guard have been there and the guard have been slaughtered. Oh, I can't see. Right, that way. So, the hill goes at the bottom on this one. Because they do go in so the hills kind of slot next to each other. And then when you get the two flat ones, they go in quite nicely. So that's work on that board. Now most of the work from there is going to be either painting grounds on the plain areas, so that anywhere that ends up with the tea leaves over it has a muddy base, and then layering up through greys and other colours on the hill sections. Oh, and it took an hour and a half. He says. I thought it was only going to take about half an hour to 20 minutes. Maybe an hour at most, but no, it took an hour and a half. I did start faffing around halfway through though. I've got to remember that my camera's flipped at the minute, so brew has to go over there and water pot has to go over there. He says, where is my water pot? I've got no idea where. There it is. Water pot goes over there. I mean, that is a horrible water pot that has been well used. Right, so on here, what else do we have? Turdinators. Lots and lots of turdinators. So it should be about 15, give or take. I mean, he's got a magnet in there. That's not necessarily the best thing in the world. Night Beaky. Sorry, Night Ali, sorry. You're the librarian. You're Valdus. You're Drago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do still have 15 Terminators for the Grey Knights. I don't have many. Oh, he's got the apothecary thing on him. Now I don't want the big swords. What I want for them all, because I want these to be representative of lightning claws, essentially. So rather than having the big swords, I'm going to have a look through all these. I'm going to have spears, halberds. Ah, there we go. What I want are these, the falchions. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one set. Nope. 1, 2, 3. There's another 3. So they need 2 more to go on to them. I mean, that Terminator arms, handy. Terminator weapons, nope. That one's been pillaged. And that one's Eldar, so that's not going to work. What else is in here? More scenery pieces. The manual for my camera. What else do we have? This is a problem I've got. So, power sword. That looks like Eldar bits. This is the same person who I got my Eldar off, by the way. Which is why there's so many bits for all sorts of things. I should have more than just that. What's in there? That's all bases. I should have more sprues than that. Is that what's just going crashing down over there? That's my Hellbrute instructions. I'm going to need them tomorrow on Wednesday. Right, so I've at least got a good start to doing to be able to do the falchions. So I can run standard range Terminators with Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields. And then if I run these with falchions, I'll count them as the Lightning Claws. So I'm going to be 15 Lightning Claws, 10 Thunder Hammers and 15 ranged. I'm getting too many of them. I'm getting too much of this shit. I've not even started on my second. Is it my second? Yeah, my second chaplain on the bike. Where is my first chaplain on the bike? That's probably a better idea. Where's my first chaplain on the bike? He should be under here as well. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? That's where that went, and that is clean. Where the fuck's my chaplain on the back gone? He's gone missing. He has gone missing. Sort my monitor back out again. See, if I bring it over this way, I can see easier. I can actually see the chat. It helps. Right. So, board's been set up. Lasgull Thwack has been started, but I need bits on Wednesday to finish him off. I'm going to have to strip a lot of these, I think. I mean, some of them not too bad. They've already been stripped, they just need priming. So those ones I just really need to sort the hands out with, and the arms and the heads. Not having a nice, there's a 5-man squad that's pretty much done, which I'm not too happy with. I'm going to have to, I don't want to have to respray it, but I'm going to have to strip it down to get rid of the silver, and that's not great because I've got so much that I need to strip down that I don't know if I'm going to have enough biostrip. All my orcs need going in, that's why. Oh, there's my other chaplain on the back. See, I've still not even finished this one yet. Well, bloody another one there to do. And all them that I'm in the process of doing as well. Too many projects, people. Too many projects. As I said, it is all getting a bit out of control. Definitely not. The wind's blowing my curtain. Definitely all getting out of control. So that is me getting it under control. With that though, I am going to call this evening done. As I said, I wasn't feeling too great last night. Not been feeling 100% now, but I know I needed to get shit done. Next time I'm looking at, by the looks of it, for the next month, I'm just going to be doing fucking Terminators. Just Terminators, whether it's be captains, librarians, or just units. It's going to be a lot of Terminators that are coming through. Now, characters, I will like to give hammers, if at all possible. If I can give them hammers, then that'll be great. I do have some hammers. Well, at least 3 that I could put on leaders or sergeant-y units. If I could find 5 with extra shields, then that would be good. But I can't. So I'm just going to have to make do with what I've got. Obviously having ones like Voldus and stuff, having a hammer. He'd quite easily be Terminator Captain or Terminator Librarian. Captain's probably better because he's going to have a hammer on him. It's going to take a lot of work though, because I'm going to have to put him into my colours. A lot of work to get him into my colours. He's done quite well though in that situation. Along with some of the actual Grey Knights, if it weren't for the fact that they need a bit of dusting. In fact, if they need a bit of dusting, that's... Why didn't I think of this a minute ago to do the dusting? It's essentially a fucking air duster. See, that's not bad at all, that. That overall paint job is pretty good. It's a shame he's just not painted the entire army. Because then I would have took Grey Knights. So just as a general dust over. Just try and make sure I clean some of these up a bit. Yeah, a big old chunk just came flying out of underneath his base there. I don't even know what that was. Shame Drago's in this condition. But as I said, I can put another shield on him. I can put a sword on him. In fact, I might nick Voldus' hammer and stick hammer and shield on him and have him that way. Because he does look more standard captain-y than Voldus does. Voldus is a bit ostentatious with all this going on around the back of his head. Don't know if you can see that. Of course you can't see that. Why can't you see that? Because my camera now decides it doesn't want to focus on things that. So if we do that, and then we do that. Oh, come on. You used to autofocus a minute ago. That's just bloody stupid. Why is it not autofocusing now? It was twitching and glitching and doing all sorts of stuff last week. And now it's not doing now. Sort your bloody neck out, mate. Sort your neck out. But, yeah. Move that. Do that. Keep hold of that section this time. And just undo that bit, not that bit. So you don't want to undo that bit. Don't want to do that bit. That lets it out a lot quicker. There we go then. So, thank you very much everybody for coming to see me this evening. I have put a few things more up on Instagram, if you want to take a look there. Again, the Discord is linked in the main channel. If you want to join the Discord and have a chat with most of the people that you've seen within the chat today, as well as me. It is completely free. It is completely free. Other than that, if you'd like to hit the like, the subscribe, hit the real subscribe, which tells you where the notifications are going live, I much appreciated, and I would love to see you all back in to come and see me and spend some time and chat. But with that being done, thank you very much. I've enjoyed tonight. It's probably been a short one, but I've actually really enjoyed tonight. Thank you very much for all joining, making it a little bit better. I'm gonna go try and feel better. So drive safe, everyone.